When did my parents' safety rule almost cost someone their life? My parents tracked my every move through Life 360 after catching me at one party freshman year. Every day at 6 p.m. sharp, I had to be back at the off-campus apartment they'd chosen for me. The app would ping them the second I stayed on campus past curfew, which triggered immediate phone calls. Campus gets dangerous after dark, Mom would remind me during our nightly check-ins. All those assaults happen at night. We're keeping you safe. Dad would add his favorite threat. One violation, and we're pulling your tuition. Medical school isn't worth risking your life. Meanwhile, campus had emergency phones every 50 feet and security patrols all night. I tried explaining this once, but Dad's response was to add a doorbell camera. The isolation started destroying my grades. My organic chemistry study group met every night at 8 in the library, and while they worked through problem sets together, I sat alone in my apartment, drowning in mechanisms I couldn't understand. One morning, my advisor warned me that my B- was slipping toward a C. Medical schools won't even look at applications with a C in organic, she said. I wanted to scream that I knew that, but my parents cared more about their paranoid fears than my actual future. Then one evening, my roommate saved me completely. She actually worked at the campus library and had been watching me cry over my midterm scores. The concrete walls block GPS signals, she said. My staff card opens the back entrance. She slid the card across our kitchen table. I stared at that piece of plastic like it was gold. For 3 weeks, my plan worked perfectly. Every night at 9, I'd call my parents from bed, tell them I was exhausted, then sneak out the back door and back to campus. The library's dead zones meant my location stayed frozen at home, letting me study until 2 a.m. with my group. My grades finally climbed back to an A-. This became routine until one Thursday night destroyed everything. I was quietly reviewing mechanisms alone on the 3rd floor when I heard muffled screaming from the women's bathroom. My first thought was someone being attacked, so I grabbed my phone, ready to call security. But when I pushed open the door, I found something worse. A girl was writhing on the tiles, white foam bubbling from her purple lips, an empty prescription bottle spinning away from her convulsing hand. Every first aid class I'd taken flooded back. Airway, breathing, circulation. My hands shook as I dropped beside her. She wasn't breathing right. Gurgling sounds meant she was choking on vomit, so I rolled her onto her side, sweeping my fingers through her mouth to clear it. But I didn't know what else to do. My hands fumbled with my phone, turning off airplane mode, and ran to the nearest window. I called my parents, panicking, needing someone to tell me what to do next. Marisa, why does it show you on campus? Mom's voice could have shattered glass. Get home now. Mom, there's a girl here who's overdosing. I don't know what to. I don't care. Your father's calling the registrar first thing tomorrow. You're done. Done. Get home before we call the police. The girl's lips were turning darker blue. Her breathing sounded like drowning. They kept screaming about tuition and consequences while someone was dying in front of me. I threw my phone against the wall in rage and ran back to her. Then I saw the emergency phone on the bathroom wall. I knew it would log my student ID and 4 years of pre-med would be gone, but the girl's breathing slowed down. I lunged towards it. 3rd floor bathroom, library east wing, female, approximately 18, probable overdose. The dispatcher kept me on the line while I tilted her head back, checking her pulse. Weak but present. I gave rescue breaths between her shallow attempts, watching her chest rise and fall. The EMTs burst in after the longest 4 minutes of my life. They took over with practiced efficiency while I stumbled back, legs shaking. Security arrived next, taking my statement. Yes, I was here after hours. No, I wasn't supposed to be. The girl's student ID said Jackie MacArthur. They loaded her onto a gurney and I followed to the hospital. My shattered phone abandoned on the bathroom floor. Caitlin's parents arrived within an hour, both in designer clothes despite being 2 a.m. Her mother collapsed when the doctor explained their daughter had overdosed on anxiety medication. Without that girl's intervention, she wouldn't have made it, the doctor said clearly, pointing at me. Her father grabbed my hands, this stranger covered in his daughter's vomit, and sobbed his thanks. Only when he said his name did I recognize him, MacArthur, as in the MacArthur Medical Building, the university's biggest donor. By sunrise, my parents had arrived at campus, ready to pack my things. The registrar had confirmed I'd violated curfew, and they'd already withdrawn next semester's tuition. I met them in the dean's office, where they'd demanded a meeting to formally withdraw me. But inside, Jackie's parents waited with the dean. Mr. MacArthur stood when we entered. Your daughter saved Jackie's life. My mother's prepared speech died in her throat as he explained everything in brutal detail. And then he said, I've already paid her tuition through medical school. My parents sat frozen as the dean added simply, your safety rule nearly cost a student her life. They never mentioned my curfew again.